Back here at the St. Paul Civic Center, the women's gymnastics competition. It's the team and the all-around, and we're focusing on the all-around competition. Brandy Johnson has taken the lead with that fine performance in the third rotation over Larissa Fontaine. Molly Schoen, Ann Wojnarowski, Tracy Cole, and Hillary Anderson are tied for fifth. We're getting ready now for Tracy Cole from Norman, Oklahoma, trains with Steve Nuno and Peggy Liddick up in Oklahoma City at the Dynamo's gym.
She's only .325 out of third. So she does have an opportunity to possibly move into medal contention here, but that's still a pretty substantial move to make.
Tracy Cole getting ready to vault, and she'll be using the familiar Yurchenko style of vaulting, Kathy.
It's a round-off entry vault and a layout somersault. Little hop on the landing. She actually scored pretty well in this event at the USA Championships.
Let's talk a little bit about that. The vault was very clean, but of course it wasn't the most difficult vault being done.
It didn't have the same dynamics as some of the other gymnasts have on this vault. Not as much lift up off the horse, but it was a nice clean vault. Just looking to try and get a little bit more speed into the horse, a little more height and distance on the afterflight. Waiting for her score of her first vault. It's a 9.25 for the first vault. Looking to better that here. And with a full twist. Adds the twist in tucked position. It's not quite as hard as a laid out position, but it's much harder than her first vault. She's a little off center on the mat. That will be a slight deduction.
Nicely done for Tracy Cole, who, by the way, is also a member of the Honor Society and German Club at her school. She carries a 4.0 grade point average.
You can see here, a little bit better lift on this vault, but of course off center she has to step even more off center.
Let's see if we can see what happened on this.
As I said, a little bit better push than before. She tucks in a little bit too soon. She scored a 9.4 on that vault, a little bit better than the first one.
So keep in mind that it's the team and the all-around competition. There are 4 teams competing and 24 young ladies from both the senior and the junior national teams. There's Bill Roth, second place in the all-around in the men's competition a couple of days ago. We're getting ready now to go over to the balance beam. This is Ann Wojnarowski. And Kathy, you said at the top of the show that she has really impressed you here.
Yeah, very much so, particularly on vault. She scored a 9.9 over the vault. Very, very powerful, reminiscent of Mary Lou Retton. A lot of power in those legs.
Once again, another one of our mini mites. She's only 13 years old. She's 4 feet 6 and 72 pounds.
Tied for 6th in the all-around at the 1990 USA Championships. She trains at North Star Gymnastics, and her coach is Tony Gaiman. And as we've said before, this is a very nerve-wracking event. All the events in gymnastics.
She obviously had to wait a long time to get the nod from the judges. That makes it particularly difficult.
Jumps right to a press handstand mount.
There's an original variation to that flange position.
It certainly is, and I'm trying to figure out what she has on her ankle. I think it's just colored tape.
And perhaps a heel cup.
A handspring to a layout pike. Slight balance break at the end. Just like Larissa, she really needs to work on the finer details. Perfecting each movement. A little more extension.
Currently 4th place in the all-around, just about 3/10 of a point out of a medal position.
Gainer layout step out. Showed nice form on that move. The rhythm of the routine is a little bit slow. Really needs to pick it up a little. Whoa. Punch front.
She does seem a little bit tentative. Of course, these routines are timed. She has to fit within the time frame.
That will come with time. Round up back handspring, double back dismount. Again, a step on the landing, but she's happy to just stay on the balance beam. I think she thought she was a little close to the beam, and I think she was right.
Let's take a look from our Pontiac blimp, the overhead shot here, to see how this double back went, Kathy.
You can really see how little room you have to work, and yes, she was very close to the end of the beam.
And we'll have her score on the balance beam when we come back here to St. Paul in the Civic Center for the final rotation of women's gymnastics.
Competition with Bart Connor and Kathy Johnson at the St. Paul Civic Center, bring you up to date on all the scores. But in the meantime, let's jump off the track for just a moment. Actually, off the track to tell you about something on.
Start on the balance beam, she has come on strong.
She certainly has, Bart. Really showing her toughness in competition.
Now, Brandy's had some trouble on the uneven bars in the past.
Yes, she has. This will be a good test for her because she's just now getting her confidence back here. She had a good performance at the championships on this event. Giant with a full pirouette over the top. Nice high reverse hecht. Moving very well so far. She's altered her routine in the past few meets. Took out one of the release moves, and I think it was a smart move for the time being. And a pike double back. And the reason I say that, she really needed to get her confidence back on this event. She's had a few misses in major meets. And so it's just good to see her go out there, hit a nice solid routine. She can put the difficulty back in later.
This score, by the way, for Ann Wojnarowski on the balance beam was a 9.725. This is Brandy's release move.
Look at the height on that reverse hecht. Very nicely done. Really only deductions in that routine. Very slight form breaks here and there. But for the most part, very clean. And a nice high pike double back dismount. You can see that the judges are really looking to see the somersault level with the high bar. That's the kind of height you're looking for.
Earlier, we saw Elizabeth Crandall compete on the floor exercise. She did torque her right knee, and she's being examined right now by the doctors from the U.S. Olympic Committee. She has pulled out of the meet. She will not vault for her team. Her score on Florex was an 8.5, and we wish her the best. We hope that that knee injury isn't serious.
And Brandy's score just came in, 9.825.
Looks like there's our winner in the all-around. She'll be hard to catch. Next up on the uneven bars, this is Molly Shawn, and she has really surprised a lot of people here.
Molly's a teammate of Brandy's at Brown's Gymnastics with Kevin and Rita Brown. Nice straight body work, Giant with a full turn to a nice high Ginger. It's nice to see her keeping good form on these skills as well. Giant swing, another giant swing with a full pirouette and a double twisting flyaway. Really straight body line on all her moves.
A very clean routine for the 13-year-old out of Edgewood, Kentucky. Of course, as you mentioned, she trains with Kevin and Rita Brown down there in Altamont Springs at Brown's Gymnastics.
And she was in third place going into this event, so this should do her well. Look at that, keeping perfect form on a double twisting flyaway. You can really see how she squeezes those legs together, doesn't give away any tenth of a point.
So a big day from the young ladies from Brown's Gymnastics Academy down in Altamont Springs, Florida. Molly Shawn having a terrific performance. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, some of our juniors in this competition are really getting an exciting opportunity to compete against some of the best, like Brandy Johnson.
She just scored a 9.85. Big score for her. Nice competition through and through.
There's Kevin Brown with Molly. Obviously very pleased with her competition today. All of those young ladies from Altamont Springs seem to have the same look, the suntan and the blonde hair. Is that a Brandy Johnson or is that a Kathy Johnson trait? Now we're going to get an opportunity to see Stephanie Woods. She's training in Austin, Texas.
Stephanie is really nice to watch. She has long lines, beautiful long legs. Always has good form. She has excellent dance as well.
This, of course, is the 4th and final rotation in the women's all-around competition. Stephanie currently in 5th place, 15th place in the all-around.
She's actually off to a very good start after the first event, the vault. She was leading, or in the top 3. And she's dropped down with a couple falls throughout the competition.
She had a good meet earlier this year at the U.S. Challenge. She placed 2nd in the all-around to Kim Zmeskal, who is currently #1 in the United States and training for the Goodwill Games that will be in a couple of weeks. This is Stephanie Woods, 15 years old, from Austin, Texas.
All right, whip back through to a double back, very close to going out of bounds, but she managed to stay in. For her second tumbling run. Whip back through to a double twist. She's the tallest gymnast here at 5'3".
Let's talk a little bit about that. We talked about the mini mites at 4'4" and 4'5". She's almost a foot taller than some of our miniature gymnasts here. How much of a disadvantage do you feel that is?
In some cases, it's an advantage. It really looks so nice on the uneven bars. It looks great on balance beam. It makes it tough in tumbling and in skills where you really need to rotate fast, because the longer the body, the longer it takes to rotate. She manages. Double back. The end of her routine. Very nice performance.
Stephanie Woods from Capital Gymnastics in Austin, Texas. Her coach, Jim Jarrett, very pleased with that performance. He's not only the coach of the West team here, but he's also her personal coach down in Austin.
Stephanie's been on the national team for 2 years. Most of the gymnasts here, it's their first year on the national team.
Let's take a look at her first tumbling run.
She does a whip back. Right through to a double back. And look here. Whoa, she is right on the line.
If she steps out, it's a 1/10 of a point deduction.
Again, she does a whip back through to a layout somersault with a double twist. That's the other disadvantage. When you're taller, it's harder to get all the skills in the tumbling pass without going out of the area. And she ends with a double back, just pulls it around right here very nicely.
Stephanie Woods having a terrific competition here. Her score a 9.65 in that floor exercise routine. Now we're getting ready for Larissa Fontaine, the little hot shot that has impressed a few people here. She needs a 9.975 to win on this floor exercise routine and beat Brandy Johnson.
That's an awfully big score. She opens with a full twisting double back. Oh, no. She was having trouble with that in warm-ups. Just barely getting it around. Charming dance.
How hard is it to put on the smile and do a cutesy, charming routine after you know you've already given away a major deduction early?
It's certainly hard for the smile to come from within, that's for sure, Bart, but we train to be able to do that.
Is that a fake smile?
I don't know if I'd say it's a fake smile. She's 12 years old and probably loving this sport so much that it's hard to have a fake smile when you're doing something you enjoy. But oh, barely pulls that double back around. It's a big pass, though. Alternates through to a double back.